So welcome to episode 5 of the WBBL review.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, anytime. It's been a long process getting this one in the diary, I think.
I'm so busy these days. It's crazy. Like, my friends are like, "Can we do something this day?" And I'm like, I can't commit to anything until we get to that day. I'm sorry. Like, things are just popping up. It's crazy. Madness.
And obviously we're missing Melita, so just shout out to Melita. We miss you.
Oh, missing you, Melita. Wish you were here.
So congratulations on the move to, not the move to Oakland, but the move to head coach at Oaklands. How are you feeling about it? Obviously a little way into the season now, time to settle in a little bit, but how are you feeling about it?
Yeah, like, obviously I'm very grateful to Oaklands for me this opportunity. Like, I don't think at my age and in the type of league that we play in, I would get the opportunity anywhere else with the experience that I have. Like, I'm very new to the game, everyone knows that. So to be given the opportunity is just amazing that they trust me to do that. The role itself, I was always like quite a vocal player anyway, and obviously because I'm still playing, it's like the transition isn't huge at the moment. I'm still on the court and people are used to hearing my voice. So for me, it's not such a huge difference because I'm always just shouting at people anyway. Not that I shout at everyone all the time, but the transition it's been good for me. I've got a lot of people around me that have been supportive. I've got like mentors from the England basketball program that have helped me. Obviously, Lee and Michael, my boyfriend coaches as well. He's up at Loughborough, so he's been really helpful throughout the process. So got a lot of people around me, so I haven't felt alone in the process, which is really cool.
You mentioned about playing still. What's the dynamic? How has the dynamic changed from, say, last season to now you're playing, but with this extra responsibility on top?
Yeah, I've actually found that I'm actually playing like better in my role. I think as Lauren, as a player, I'm very much like a role player. Like, I'll come in, I'll get you rebounds when you need rebounds, I'll get you some steals. Like, I'm that energy player, and I know that. But sometimes when I wasn't coach, I was going in and trying to think about scoring the ball and, how many like layups I've missed or jump shots that I'm going to make. Whereas that's not actually within my game. Like, if I make a few jump shots in the game, it's a bonus for us, obviously. But now I just go in, and because I'm not focused on my game, I'm actually just going in and doing what I do as really well as a player. And I've actually found that it's helped my performance. I'm obviously trying not to play as many minutes, trying to head towards coaching more. But at some points in the game, like, because of the player I am, I felt like I just need to go in and play more minutes than I've wished for at the moment. But we're getting there. Like, we've had injuries again, like last season. We've missed Marissa and Greta last week. Lizzie went down. So obviously that means I've had to step in and play some more minutes than what we want. But it's one of those things. I mean, I don't mind. Basketball is something that I love, so I'm not going to complain. But we're just trying to challenge the kids for me to play less. So we want them to perform so that I don't have to come in and I don't have to play mass amounts of minutes at the start of the season. Like, I'm not going to start any games. I don't want that to be my role within the team. I'm just going to sort of come in when they need me and play in those competitive games. Like, whether or not if we're down 30, like, the kids can go and play. Like, I'm not going to be that player that's going to come in and score 30 for us. So I'm not going to make a difference in those moments, but I'm going to try play in those competitive games where we believe that we can get some wins. So, yeah.
Has coaching always been kind of an aim of yours? Is that where you felt yourself going?
Yeah, well, I know, like, I went to the States for uni, and I never, like, in my senior year, I didn't see myself wanting to go and play pro. I had, like, a few looks where I could have gone, I don't know, Australia and just play for a bit of fun, not making a massive amount of money, but I didn't see myself going down that route because, if you know me well enough, I love to play the game just because I enjoy it. I'm not that type of person who's in the gym every day. I just sort of play because I'm fun and I'm all right at it. Like, if that makes sense.
Just all right at it, yeah.
I'm all right. So, but I never saw it being like a career where I'm going to make money from it. I always knew, like, I wanted to do something with basketball, but not necessarily go down that pro route. So, like coach, I don't know, even like director, or I studied communications at uni. So working within a basketball club, doing something with people around me was always a goal of mine. I coached little kids to start, which I loved. I loved helping the kids learn, but it got to a point where I was like, my patience, again, if you know me, I don't have the world's greatest patience. So I was like, I want to be coaching high level basketball where I'm not teaching the little detail things. I'm talking broader, like performance basketball. So that's just where I got my love for it when I realized the kids. So I'm like, all right, I need something that knows what I'm talking about now. And that's when I realized I wanted to go somewhere with coaching.
Let's rewind a bit and talk a little bit about yourself and growing up and how you came to kind of play basketballs. But first of all, where were you born? Where are you from?
So I'm from Portsmouth, down south. I originally played at Solent. That was my first club. And Lee was actually my coach down there.
Right.
So I've known him for 10 plus years now. He's also not just like been my coach, he's my friend as well now. Started down there. I obviously started playing netball, the curse word. And I was just tall at school, and my teachers were like, can you help us in this basketball tournament? And then I realized actually basketball was more for me because I could be aggressive and I could be the person that I wanted to be on the basketball court, and that was okay. And then, I just sort of got the ick for it. Came to Oaklands Academy when I was 16. So I moved from Portsmouth up to St Albans, lived on the residential sites at Oaklands, then got a scholarship to the States. I was involved with like England under 16, under 18, under 20s, GB. So I did all the national team stuff when I was younger. So I've been around like what a performance environment is and what you need to be to get to that point. And that's sort of my career. And then I went to the States for 4 years, had the time of my life. I was at a small Division 2 school, but it was the right fit for me. I played a lot, had fun. I also had a good social life. So I was in Philadelphia, which is a cool city to be in. So I had a really good experience. I know some people don't. But I've been really lucky and just been able to play the game because I really love it and enjoy it. It's just been a good ride for me. I wouldn't say easy ride, but a good ride.
You mentioned obviously America there, and as you say, some people come back and say, "Oh, so intense." But what did you enjoy most about it? Did you enjoy like the basketball side of things, or was it just the whole package of being somewhere different?
Like I said, I'm like quite a social butterfly as well. So I had really good teammates out there. My coach, like it was a very intense environment. It's very different to what you would go to if you're going to university in England, obviously bucks and things like that. Like it's like baller's life out there. It's all or nothing, like waking up at 6 a.m. to lift, go to class, go to practice, then you've got team meetings and you've got video in the evening, and then it's like you've got to do work, sleep, repeat. So I just had a good balance. Like I just loved every minute because the level was right for me. And I had some Division 1 offers, but I just knew that I wanted to go somewhere and play because, again, type of person I am, I wanted to be on the court, I wanted to be competing. And I did a lot of research on the conference I was in. It was very much fitted for me because there's different, I don't know how much you know about the States, but different conferences are sort of known for different strengths. Like you can have fast conferences, you can have shooting conferences, you can have athletic, all different. And mine was like good for me. It was a good mix between smarts and athletic. I couldn't be more thankful. And obviously because I was in Philly, that's literally just the other side. So it was a 7-hour flight over and then you're there. So not too far from home. I wasn't like the other side of America. So I could come back at Christmases, things like that. So it was perfect. Yeah.
Okay. So apart from netball and basketball, did you play any other sports when you were growing up?
Well, at school, and at that age when if you're athletic, you sort of do everything because I could do everything.
You're in that team. You're in that team.
Yeah. You're just like naturally sort of gifted at doing a bit of everything. But I wasn't really serious about anything else because I'm down south. I did a bit of sailing. No one would know that. I did some sailing, which was pretty cool. I tried everything: horse riding, swimming, athletics. You name it, I've probably done it. But I actually got, because I went to the States, volleyball has become a really good sport that I like to watch and love to play. I mean, we don't get to play it much over here, but sometimes we have a volleyball net at Oaklands, and we'll just get it up and we'll play for a bit of fun. So volleyball is pretty cool. If it was bigger over here, it would have been something that I would have liked to invest more time in, but it's not a thing that people do much over here.
I was at Durham on Saturday just gone, and the court next to them, they had a big screen up at the court next to them, there was a volleyball game going on.
Yeah, well, I was at Loughborough the other day and I poked my head round and there was a volleyball game going on, but I think everyone came up to my kneecap, so it wasn't the volleyball game I was used to watching. In the States, they're all huge. Yeah. I was just like, where do they get these athletes from? It's crazy.
So what would you say your best moment on court was?
Well, as a player?
Yeah, as a player, your best kind of basketballing memory or moment?
I've got a few. I mean, it's definitely, there's no better feeling than putting on your jersey for your national team. My national team age group was really strong. I had like Janice Monacana, J-Am when she was playing, Shaquila Joseph, Sheradine Green. Like our team was like stacked. So it made it fun, like, because we would win a lot. We came second in 2 tournaments, I think. So we were in 2 major finals. Like, for me, that's just what's going to beat that. Like, you've got an England jersey on, your family's in the crowd, like you've got a bunch of Europeans screaming and shouting at you. Like, the atmosphere of a game in Europe is just insane. That will definitely be a memory that will last me forever. But outside of that, I've got some good memories at Oaklands actually when I was in academy, because we had just started up when I had gone there. So I was like the second year age group coming in. So there was like 5 or 6 of us on the team at the time, but like a couple of us could play basketball, and like at the time, like our team would just beat everyone because it was like a new league, and which was cool because there was like 5 of us and we were just all super close. Oaklands is such a family environment. Like, those memories will always be my favorite. I think we won once. So we qualified for a tournament, and you had to have 7 players on your team in order to travel to this tournament. So we had to ask a couple of the netball girls to come. So they came with us, and like in the warm-up, we're teaching them how to do layups and things like that. Like, it was crazy. I was like, so British basketball. And then we like ended up winning by like 30, and one of the girls came on and scored like a behind the back shot, like just moments like that. It was so much fun. So yeah, those would be my memories. Just national team, and then the others, the opposite end to it, was just having fun and messing around and being on the court with my best mates.
So you obviously talk about Oaklands being like the family feel of the club, and let's move on to talking about Oaklands in more detail. When did it come? When did the kind of conversation start that you were going to become head coach?
At the end of last season, Oaklands went down the transition where they wanted to make, because obviously our WBBL is linked to the college. We play our games there, and they like have a lot to do with who we bring in, things like that. So the conversation started about how they wanted more of their academy kids to be playing. Like, if we're having this program come out of Oaklands College, our kids should be involved. Which obviously meant for a lot of people, like for example, Lee, he wants to be coaching pros in a pro league. And so they just thought me around the kids. I had coached the WBBL team last year. So I knew all the girls. I was familiar with them all, had a good relationship with them all. I just remember sitting on the sofa with Lee and him being like, "How crazy are you, Lauren?" And I was just like, I mean, I'm pretty crazy, but it was just like, this is literally how the conversation went. And he was like, "How would you feel about doing like coaching in the WBBL?" And I had no idea at this time. And I was just like, whoa. And this was at the start of summer. And obviously it wasn't a decision that just happened overnight. They gave me a couple of weeks to think about it. I also had to think about if I had the time, because it's a massive commitment. I was also at the end of last year thinking about, do I want to keep playing? So I was also in the mind frame, do I want to just coach? Do I want to play still? Do I not want to coach and just play? Do I want to focus on my playing career? So I was in that mindset. So it took a couple of months to finally come to the decision that I was like, I want to really do this and go for it. But obviously Lee and Michael spoke to different people, and it wasn't just a let's ask Lauren and whatever thing. Like it was a big decision, but it was something that took some time. But yeah, that's literally the conversation. How crazy are you? And I was like, don't know if I'm that crazy, but yeah, here I am. So
I'm rubbish at making decisions. I'd still be making the decision now if it was me. I was like, oh, what do I do? What do I do?
Yeah. And I was going like back and forth. One day, like I really wanted to do it the other day because it's such, everything comes back on your head when you're the coach. And I'm like, do I at this age, as this new of a coach, want to have that responsibility on me? But I just knew in my gut that the girls, I would be the best person for the girls in the moment, because as much as Lee is a great coach, I think the girls needed someone that they can relate with. And I just knew in that moment that I would be the best person for them. So I did it for them ultimately.
So how do you think it's going so far this season? What are we, 2 months in? How do you feel like it's going?
Yeah, I mean, it's a very roller coaster of a ride, which is expected. We've got a very young team. At the moment, it's trying to find consistency within them. So one day, one of them might be awesome, and the next day they go into a game and they're thinking about other things rather than the game. They're a bit worried, which is normal. You're a kid, you've not been in these situations before. You're playing in a pro league. You've not, like when you're supposed to be playing under 18, you know what I mean, national league. So it's very up and down. But one thing that has been really cool for me to see is they're just so together, and the kids are fearless. Like we say to them, you guys have nothing to lose. I don't think it's not a secret that there's no expectations on Oaklands to go out and win the league this year. So we've just said, you guys, no one's looking at you guys and thinking, how's she performing this game? How's she performing? Because ultimately people don't actually know who they are right now. So you can go out and do whatever happens on the day and no one's going to hold that on your head. It's all going to be down to us seniors. And they've done that. They're just fearless, and their energy's great. Their attitudes are great. Even when times get tough, which it's going to, we're not naive in the fact it's strong. It's a strong league. They're up against players that have been playing pro in all sorts of different countries. They've shown that they're relentless and that they'll stick together even through the hard times. And that's something as a coach you can be really proud of. You can't get that in every single team you go into. So, yeah.
I mean, it's a season that's had a bit of everything so far. I mean, you've had overtime, you've had the away win at Newcastle. You've had kind of heavy defeats, you've had injuries. It's a bit of a roller coaster.
Very up and down, and it's, as a coach now, I think as a player, of course, everyone gets down on themselves when you lose a game. No one likes to lose. But as a coach now, I'm also dealing with how could I have changed things in that game? Like tactically, could we have done something? So like for me, it's like a whole different world now. A game ends and I've got to deal with X and Y, and I've got to deal with someone's over here because they're not happy with their performance, and it's a lot. But the highs are well worth the lows. And for me, I've got a great group of people around me. Even my 5 seniors, shout out to them. They've been awesome. They came into this year knowing exactly what it was going to be like. They knew it was going to be a slow year to start because it's a lot of learning has to happen. Because, for example, in a pro team, you'd be, say you're covering a screen defense, you'd be like, okay, this is what we're doing, bam, go. Whereas us is, this is what it is, this is how you're supposed to do it, this is what it looks like, bam, go. Whereas the seniors all know that, so they've been very patient and they've been awesome. They're like 5 mini coaches on the floor. So yeah, it's just a really good dynamic, and couldn't be more thankful for the group that I have. But very up and down, don't get me wrong. I've had some times where I've wanted to pull my hair out, but it's normal and I know it was coming, so it's what I got myself in for.
Let's have a little chat about that Newcastle game then. Obviously the photographs came out of you and Lizzie and kind of the emotion that came out after that game. Talk us through that one.
Well, I think it was more, like I said at the start, we've got no expectations. We don't even talk about winning at the moment. We talk about, yes, we want to compete, but winning, everyone wants to win. We don't say we're going into this game because we want to lose. No one says that, of course. But we talk about right now we want to compete. And if competing looks different to us and it's us being successful for 40 minutes and we don't come out on top, but we've done what we think is successful, then we're going to be happy. And I think like just going into that game, I don't think anyone had us down to win it. We just wanted to compete in the game. We knew it was going to be hard. We were without Greta as well, who's been our top scorer for the few games before that. So obviously that was in the back of my mind. We need to find, 17 to 20 points in someone else, which isn't easy to do. And obviously she's phenomenal 3-point shooter. Like, I'm not going to come on and do that for us. So it's who's going to step up and do something different for us on the day. But we just focused on us. We didn't once talk about Newcastle. We didn't once, not in a horrible way, of course, like we want to do scouts, but it was so early on in the season. We were just like, for now, we don't know what they're going to come out as. We haven't seen them play, so we had no video on them. So we just focused on us. And we just came out on top. We dealt with everything they chucked at us, which was impressive. Like, they put on a press. They're a great defensive team, and we dealt with it. We adjusted. They went on runs, but like I said, not once did we put our head down and feel defeated. Stuck together. Lizzie and Marissa combined for 40 whatever points, like, came up huge, and that's what we expect of our seniors. Yeah, we want our kids to come in and step up and perform and be consistent, like I said earlier, but that also means that our seniors have to come on and do their job. And it was just a day that everyone did their role and did their role very well. So we all clicked, and if we can do that consistently, we're actually going to be quite a dangerous team. So yeah,
I think what you said
was just, I just can't believe it. And we all joked about, I said about, when you win a game, you get, or lose a game, so the score sheet, you get a yellow or pink sheet, depending on if you win or lose. Right. And I said to the girls at the start of the season, all I want is just one pink sheet so I can frame it and put it on my wall to say I've got a win in a pro league, and just getting it in our first game, and everyone was just like, you got your pink sheet. And yeah, so it was just, we were just all on a high. It was really cool.
I think what you said was right, though. I mean, Newcastle did go on a few runs, and they brought it back within a point, maybe 2 or 3 times, but every time kind of that character from your squad just pulled away again, 6 or 7 points, and then Newcastle maybe come back, but you just had enough every time. I mean, I was at that match. Can't say I was.
Oh, were you there?
I was at that match.
See you in the crowd.
Yeah, I was there.
Oh, no, you're on the other side. So.
I was on the other side. Yeah. but no, it was impressive to kind of do that so early on in this journey. Obviously, everyone knows how different it maybe is this season for you, but to do that so early on was very impressive. Yeah,
it was cool, and it was just to see that the kids can step into that environment and they can actually compete. I think a couple of our kids had like 7-8 points, and that's what we need them to come in and do. I'm not asking any of them to come in and be superstars right now. They're still developing, they're still learning the game. But if they can come in and do one thing that they do really well, like Eva, for example, she can shoot the ball really well. Just come in and do that and focus on that. We're not asking you to do everything else right now, because that's for practice, but when you come into a game, just do the one thing that you can do well. And I feel they just came in and they did that for us. And to do that in that league, I was just so proud.
Even handling the atmosphere, there was nearly 300 people there.
Yeah, I couldn't even hear them.
Yeah,
I was trying to talk to them at points and we couldn't even hear each other. So like the atmosphere was awesome, and to do it in front of that crowd as well. Like, I think we just had Lizzie and Lizzie's mum and dad there, the only 2 people that were still standing by the end of the game, which it was pretty funny, really cute. And yeah, it was cool that we captured that moment. I think it's a picture that I'll have in my room forever. So really cool.
So what do you think about the kind of standard across the league this season? Do you think it's kind of improving year on year? What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's hard to tell. We haven't played everyone. I mean, obviously I've watched everyone as a coach. I've got to go watch everyone and make sort of game plans and things now. I think obviously it's Sevenoaks are always just Sevenoaks, like strong, consistent. They seem to bring in familiar faces every year. Everyone knows them, yet they can't be stopped. So like for me, that's so impressive, like that they come in year on year. Like you can scout Kat Carr, yet she still comes in and she drops 20 on you, and you're like
triple double last
week. Yeah, like I think we chucked everything at her, like face guard, 2-3 zones, like everything, and it just so for me, Sevenoaks are obviously impressive, and they're all like great people as well, so humble, and they're awesome to watch. Obviously London Lions are stacked. I just see them right now in a different league. Like it's them and then the rest of us all competing right now, which is honest. Obviously, everyone says that. I don't think, again, it's not a secret. They're stacked, and it's cool to see because most of the talent on that team is British talent.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. The fact they're playing in Euro Cup. I've actually tried to get to some of their games, but they're a bit too early, so I haven't made it over there. But they're awesome to watch. Like, I don't remember a team like that in the WBBL for a very long time. And then everyone else sort of brings in new faces, different years, bring in like strong Americans, like individual people, and then surrounded by British talent around that, which is cool. I think there's more British people than there has been in the league. Don't know whether that's due to the new Brexit rules and things like that, but it's cool. It's cool to play against familiar faces all the time, and like people that have been in the game, like Manchester, Georgia Jones, Dom, Rianne. They've played for GB. They're all high collab players, and they're wanting to play in the WBBL still, which is really cool. It's cool to see people you know and play against players that I've once looked up to and things like that.
You mentioned London's kind of European adventure. How important is that kind of thing for the league?
Yeah, I mean, it's cool. It's cool. Like, I've spoken to Kennedy a few times, and just it's cool that we're able to support another team and that they're putting London on the map. Obviously, I don't want to support them too much because we still have to play them. But yeah, it's just really nice that you can watch a team in London and see sort of way up where we are as a nation, as basketball, when they go into that, and the standard of it, and how far away we are, like as another team, and how close we are even at some points to being at that level where we can compete consistently with Europeans. It's interesting to see, yeah, and it helps us a lot to see where our gap is and where we need to go with British basketball.
I've got a few quick fire questions just to kind of finish with. Just to let everyone get to know you a little bit better. There's nothing too bad, don't worry. Do you have a favourite Netflix series? What would you recommend people watch?
At the moment, I'm watching You.
Started that one.
Yeah. It's creepy, but I like it. I mean, I'm like a bit of a psycho, so so no, I like that show. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. It's different. It's sort of like, because the main character is obviously like a scary creep, like murderer, but they've done it where like you actually sort of like him and does that make sense? So it's like you warm to him, and I don't remember a program where you liked the murderer, so
that's what we're watching now.
yeah. Oh god, I probably shouldn't be saying this.
You quote, I'm a psycho, and I like the murderer.
Yeah, not the best look. Yeah.
Let's lighten things up a little bit. Then, what's your favorite Disney film? What's your favorite Disney film?
What's that? Favorite Disney film?
Yeah.
Lion King, typical. Love a bit of Lion King. The music's really good in it. I liked that one that came out last Christmas. What was it? Oh, I'm not going to be able to remember the name. With the jazz guy. Have you seen it?
Soul.
Yeah, Soul. That is a great movie. If you haven't gone watch it, it's so good. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen that one. Yeah.
Yeah,
I've got 3 kids in the house, so we live with Disney Plus. We live with Disney Plus.
You've seen them all. Yeah. But Lion King, I think Lion King was the first movie that I cried to as a kid, and I was like, oh my god, I have emotions. So now I have like a connection with it. So yeah.
Do you like the new one? Do you know how they remade it? Like the live action ones?
Yeah.
I like those ones.
Yeah, they're cool. Really cool.
Right, just because Melita's not here, what was Melita like as a teammate?
Well, Melita's pretty much like me, like she tells it how it is. So I got along really well with her. As a teammate, she's always talking, couldn't ask for much more. She's always giving people feedback. She was great with the kids as well. It was a shame actually that we couldn't bring her back this year because she was a really good teammate and she fitted well in our program. So miss you, Melita.
You must have some stories though. You must have
Yeah,
something.
well, I mean, she does like to cuss people out now and then, but I mean, she's pretty similar to me, like I said, so I don't have an issue with that. But yeah, yeah, she's funny.
Do you have like a favorite, like a basketball team outside of the, obviously maybe the WNBA, NBA? Do you have a favorite basketball team that you follow?
Well, I follow a lot of college basketball still.
Okay.
So obviously, UConn's up there. I love UConn. Love to watch them. Gino, like I've watched so many things on him, his practices. Like I'd love to be Gino. That's the ultimate goal. So yeah, I'd say UConn. Obviously, it's a bit of a basic statement because everyone knows that they're great.
Mm-hmm.
But if you just watch them and the players that they have, Paige, like watching Paige Buckers is just insane. She's just like the female GOAT. She's going to be amazing when she's in the WNBA. But I love college basketball. I feel like it's not really watched massively anymore. Everyone sort of watched the WNBA and the NBA, but college basketball, there's a lot more sort of tactical stuff going on because you have to make adjustments, and whereas the WNBA and NBA, they're just great. So it's just watching a load of scoring, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I love college basketball, NCAA. I watch that all the time. It's actually just started now. Lizzie and Lee think I'm crazy because I just stay up all night watching all the games. They're like, why don't you just watch it like the next day on replay? And I'm like, it's not the same watching a game live. It's just the best thing. So
that's very true. It's not the same watching games.
Yeah, exactly. And if I wake up, like I'll go on social media and I'll see the scores, and it's like then I don't want to watch it. Like,
just say it's something to do with like about your job, and you just researching different basketball techniques and styles, and
it's the coaching grind.
That's it.
Yeah.
Do you have pineapple on a pizza, or would you?
No, see, I'm no. I love pineapple and I love pizza, but together,
Oh, you're missing out. You're missing out.
I'm such a savoury person. So like pineapple's so sweet. Why would you put it on your savoury with your pepperoni and your ham?
So I was going to say, is that your go-to pizza then? Pepperoni ham?
yeah, like meat feast. Yeah, all the way with a garlic dip. Always dip. People that don't eat pizza with a dip.
Oh, you've got to have a dip.
Yeah, always. So yeah.
Okay, one more quick fire one then. For how would you finish this sentence? I love basketball because
it's given me the bestest friends in the world.
There you go.
Cliche, I know. I'm sorry, I'm so boring, but it's true. Like the people I've met through basketball, like you make friends at school, but because they don't share that same interest and they don't quite get the commitment to it, you don't share that bond. Whereas like with basketball, because they understand why you're putting so much time in it, you just like create a bond that's nothing like what you have with your other friends. Like you go through so much with your teammates, you know, and you're with them all day, every day. You see the worst of them, you see the best of them. So they see the worst of me and still love me for that. It's pretty cool.
Well, it's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure getting to know you a little bit better. It's been a pleasure kind of hearing about the aims of kind of Oaklands as a programme. All I can say is good luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you. We have a few games. I think we've got Manchester Caledonia next, and Durham coming up. So 3 games that we feel we can be competitive in. So watch this space.
Is it Durham? Is it Durham away?
They're all away. So we've got Manchester away, Durham away, and Caledonia away, all in the 3 weeks.
Well, I'm trying to get to all the Durham games, so hopefully I'll get to see you there.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah. But, hopefully you'll see a reenactment of me and Lizzie after the game.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I don't mind Durham losing, that's fine. Sorry.
Don't tell them that.
Sorry, Durham.
Yeah. They'll ban you from their games now.
Yeah, don't let them in.
Yeah. All right.
But I really appreciate your time, and it's been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Right. See you later.
Bye.